My son's coach asked, has he always known advanced military combat techniques? I laughed nervously, thinking Coach Bradley was joking about my 8-year-old son's enthusiasm during flag football practice. What do you mean? I asked. Bradley pulled me aside from the other parents. Today during practice, one kid got aggressive, pushed your son hard. Before I could intervene, Ethan had him on the ground in what I recognize as a military submission hold. Took 3 seconds. Where did he learn that? My blood ran cold. He's never taken martial arts. Must have been instinct or something he saw on YouTube. Bradley shook his head. This wasn't YouTube stuff. This was trained muscle memory. The way he moved, protected his center line, controlled the aggressor's joints. I did 2 tours in Iraq. I know combat training when I see it. I confronted Ethan that night at dinner. Coach says you use some kind of special move at practice. He shrugged, focused on his mac and cheese. Tyler was being mean. Where did you learn to do that? I don't know. I just knew. My wife and I exchanged glances. Ethan had always been different. He'd walk into a room and immediately position himself where he could see all exits. At restaurants, he insisted on facing the door. During thunderstorms, he'd drop to the ground and cover his head, call it taking cover. We thought he was just an anxious kid. The next day, I installed a hidden camera in his room. What I saw that night changed everything. At 2 a.m., Ethan sat up in bed, eyes open but clearly asleep. He moved through complex hand-to-hand combat sequences, practicing strikes and blocks against invisible opponents. It lasted 20 minutes. He had no memory of it in the morning. I took him to a pediatric neurologist. After extensive testing, she called us in, looking puzzled. His brain shows patterns I've only seen in one other population, she said. Military veterans with extensive combat experience. The muscle memory regions are hyperactive. Has anyone in your family served? My father was in Vietnam, I said. But that's not genetic, right? She hesitated. There's new research about epigenetic trauma, how extreme experiences can alter DNA expression and pass to future generations. But this is beyond that. This is like someone downloaded training directly into his brain. We tried to keep things normal, but more incidents happened. At the playground, Ethan spotted a man acting suspicious near the swings. He grabbed his little sister and executed a perfect tactical evacuation, using parked cars as cover. The man turned out to be looking for his lost dog, but Ethan's response was pure military protocol. Then came the night terrors. Ethan would scream in languages we didn't recognize. My Vietnamese neighbor heard him once and went pale. He's shouting military commands in Vietnamese, she said. Old ones, from the war. Perfect northern dialect. I researched our family history desperately. That's when I found it. My father's unit had been part of a classified program in 1971. Experimental training techniques, drugs meant to enhance combat learning. The program was shut down when soldiers reported their children exhibiting strange behaviors. Most records were destroyed. I tracked down my father's war buddy, now in his 70s. After a few beers, he opened up. They gave us injections, said it would make us better soldiers. It did, but the dreams, we'd dream we were other people, other soldiers, like their memories were in our heads. Did my father have these dreams? Your father had it worst. He'd wake up speaking Russian, knowing things he shouldn't know. They said it would fade, but I don't think it ever did. The VA finally admitted there had been a program after I threatened to go public. They offered to study Ethan, help him, but their help looked more like recruitment. They saw an 8-year-old with the tactical knowledge of a special forces operative. We refused. Instead, we found a therapist who specializes in inherited trauma. She's teaching Ethan to recognize when the old knowledge surfaces and how to control it. He's learning that these skills aren't his, just echoes of something forced into his grandfather's DNA. Last week at football practice, another kid got aggressive. This time, Ethan just stepped aside and told the coach. Bradley pulled me aside after. Whatever you're doing, it's working. He's just a normal kid out there now, but at night, I still check the camera. Sometimes he's just sleeping. Sometimes he's running tactical drills in his sleep, preparing for wars that ended before he was born. The therapist says it might fade with time, or it might not. Either way, my son carries the ghost of a war he never fought, trained for battles by men who died before he was born. We're teaching him that strength isn't just about knowing how to fight, it's about knowing when not to. He seems to understand, this 8-year-old with an old soldier's reflexes. Yesterday, he asked me, Dad, why do I know things I never learned? I told him the truth, because someone thought your grandfather needed to know them, and somehow, they became part of our family's story. He nodded like that made sense. Then he went back to playing with his Legos, building what looked suspiciously like a tactical defense position. I let him. Some inheritances you can't return.